is the teaching, spiritual teaching of non-duality. And with no uncertain terms, I denounce it. Literally, every guru, every teacher that promotes the concept of non-duality is wrong. And they're wrong to the point that they are either ignorant, they are potentially gullible, or they are downright evil. Because the concept of non-duality, which teaches in essence that you are God, is one of the, if not the, number one leading cause of spiritual seekers getting hung up and lost. And it is a satanic practice at least, in that it promotes the end of progress in spiritual enlightenment. You know how they teach, oh, I am not this, you are not that, and the new people that enter into a spiritual group that are just learning, they're always teaching. It doesn't matter if it's a Christian church or a spiritual get-together with a guru. They'll tell them, oh, well, who are you? It's kind of like a trick they play on people. Well, I'm a firefighter, and I do all this. And they go, well, you're not a firefighter, but what are you? What are you truly? Because you're not that. Let's go deeper. What is it? And on and on and on and on and on. And finally they come to the conclusion, well, I don't know what I am. And then that's where the non-duality takes over, and they get a person to the point of going, oh, I just don't know. And then they plant in their minds this sick cancer of non-duality. And they start ever so slightly teaching a little bit here, a little bit there. And eventually you get to the point of realizing that you are God. And they'll back it up with, well, if you're a Christian, didn't Jesus say, aren't we all gods? And they misinterpret everything to get to that point. Now, a lot of the teachers I have discovered are actually atheists that just enjoy the process of pretending to be an enlightened guru, because since they are atheists, they see no harm in doing that. Other people do it. Why not jump on the bandwagon and enjoy the satisfying feeling that a sociopath would have of people worshiping them and everything. So that's what they do. And then, of course, there are others that are not atheists that are just, they just don't know. They have listened to other gurus. They think that that's the way to go, and they think they have no divine connection to God because, guess what? They themselves realize, falsely realize that they in fact are God. But that's just one step removed from what they assume to be a completely lost and unenlightened person. A person comes into the group and says, I'm a firefighter. And they go, no, you got to search deeper. You're not even a human being. The body isn't. And so they go deeper and deeper and deeper, and then they come to the realization, well, everything is God. Everything is God. Everything is created by God. Everything is God. So just like which they deride the silly person that comes into the group and says, I'm a truck driver, Well, no, you're not. Well, I'm a human being. No, you're not. And then on and on and on. And then they get down to the body and they go, well, since the body is God, therefore I'm God. And they've just jumped from one ship to another. Oh, I'm not this, therefore I must be that. Now, is this body God? Absolutely it's God. God created it lock, stock, and barrel, the whole thing. It is God. The brain is God. The mind is God. The spirit is created by God that you can't see, but the body is God. Everything is God. So then the next conclusion, they erroneously say, well, therefore I'm God. But that's just one step removed from the ignorant person that thinks they are a truck driver. Well, if I'm not a truck driver, let's jump on the next bandwagon. Therefore I'm God. Because this body is God, therefore I'm God. It's a false teaching at best, satanic at worst. You are not God. Because you are not a thing. If you were a thing, then yes, you would be God. But you are not a thing. I am not a thing. A spirit is a thing. Therefore, it's God. But I am not a spirit any more than I am this physical body. I control this physical body in a sense, partly, from the spirit that is being controlled from another source, which is the essence of the spirit. But the body that's created by God does certain things. The blood flows through it. I can't control or stop it. The mind thinks. I can't control and stop it. The body will eventually die. I can't control or stop that. I can tell it to raise and lower its arm. I can control the spirit by compelling it to go this way or that way in what it does. But I'm neither the spirit nor the body. And I'm not a thing. And neither are you. And God did not create the thing that the essence of the thing. God did not create the essence of the thing. Therefore, you are not God. Now, do you want to become one with God? Because the only way to do that is to become like God. And you are not like God if you think you are God already. Because if you thought you were God, you would be ignorant. And God is not ignorant. That is a terrible teaching that is so widely taught that it's absolutely incredible. All the way from ignorant teachers to downright deceptive teachers teach that. But it is not true. You are not God. And you will never be God. Or at least the personage or the character or the awareness that is the ultimate, which is Brahman in Hindu theology, if you will, or the God that Jesus prayed to in Christianity. You will never be that, because that is already that. But you can be just like that and be one with that. In essence, undetectable from that, unless you are that. And if you are that, then you can detect the difference between this and that. And the reason you can do that is because you are not ignorant if you are one with God. But if you could not be able to discern or be able to detect the difference between this and that, then you wouldn't be the absolute or the creator of all realities. You would understand what reality is, and you would not be confused about what you are. So the teaching of non-duality is a stumbling block. It is a confusing concept taught to cause you to go astray. But everybody falls for that because it feels good to think that you're God. It feels good to think that you can't do anything wrong because in fact you are God. So if that's what you're after to satisfy your ego, go for it. But if you want true enlightenment and true understanding and eliminate ignorance from your personality, then you're going to have to denounce the false teaching of non-duality. Advaita is a concept that was taught a long time ago in India. And Advaita does not mean everything is God, or doesn't mean that you are God. Everything is God, but you're not a thing. Advaita says not two, but not two does not mean one. There's a whole lot deeper you can go into this, but I don't know if you can understand it without some direct link to the Almighty God. But you've heard that we are, in essence, awareness. But you are not the awareness of the Almighty God. You are an awareness of your own. And if and when that awareness is the same as the awareness of the Almighty God, then you are said to be one with God. But one with God doesn't mean you're both the same, one and the same. Awareness is not something that can be dissected or multiplied. Does that make sense? Awareness is not affected by time or space. Multiplication, mathematics, has nothing to do with awareness. Awareness as a subject of what we're talking about, if we deduce God to being the absolute awareness, awareness is awareness. You can't take a piece of it out here and a piece of it out there and a piece of it out here. And you can't add this awareness to that awareness and say, well, it's all the same awareness. It's a false teaching. A false teaching designed as a stumbling block. And I suspect anyone watching this is probably stumbling. Anyways, thanks for watching.